What is going on, YouTube? We are back. It is past the prop. We're coming at you with some college basketball and NBA action today. We got a full slate of both. A nice 9-game slate NBA. I think we're upwards of 50 games tonight in the college basketball streets tonight. Joined as always, Stu. How we doing, man?
I'm doing good. Today's a really nice slate, honestly. Like you said, obviously tons of college basketball going in the NBA. We got multiple huge narrative games, obviously. Dame making his return to Portland is obviously going to be must-watch TV. If Portland can keep that game remotely close, then we got Kevin Durant and then Mikal Bridges obviously playing their former teams. That's going to be fun to watch. So there's a surprisingly good amount of action. Even the Spurs and the Magic, I think that's a sneaky solid game with a lot of young players. I think it's just a good slate of basketball today, and I got a lot of bets, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, dude, I got some big boy bets out already this morning. I'm excited for these slates. It's not like huge games numbered or ranked teams against each other in the college basketball streets, but there are going to be some good conference games and some big boy numbers. A lot of teams that I like to back are playing in action today. Unfortunately, it's not Northern Colorado or Eastern Washington. If those guys were in play, you guys already know I'd be going there, but we're going somewhere different today. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get after and talk some games with you. We got, like you said, full NBA slate, but let's get talking a little bit about our recap from our NFL stuff. I believe, I don't remember how did yours go? I know Jameson hit. Williams hit there.
What was the other one?
Mahomes have 11, right?
Yeah,
11.
We were hooked on Mahomes, unfortunately. 1-1 for me.
Okay.
Oh, that was annoying, but it's okay. We'll run it back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I got Goff over 23.5 completions. Bro, I wanted them to get down in that game. That shit would have been so easy, bro. It would have been so easy. It made me sweat a lot there. But we cashed that one, and we cash in on Amon-Ra as well. Of course, dude. The dude is dude's a wagon for us. It is kind of absurd how good he's been for us this year. And we're just happy. I'm kind of mad because Amon-Ra eliminated my other wagon, which was Baker, and now they're both out. And I don't even know how many bets. I'm barely going to have any bets in the Super Bowl outside of the weird ones, probably, because all my wagons are just gone. They all fell off. So obviously happy. The game was exciting and close, but that kind of killed my best ball when they got up in that game and just kind of nuked it because they just fell apart.
Yeah, it was some weird games. It was some obviously we did not get what we expected in either of the games, but it was still a good weekend of football. So obviously glad we had that. Then the news cycle is busy, at least for me as a Washington guy, still out here looking for a head coach. Nobody wants to come anymore. We were the best, and now we're stuck with Quinn. I don't know. It's gonna be ugly. But hey, I like that the news cycle is staying busy. At least we got baseball trades. We got NBA trades. We got NBA rumors. We got NFL coaching hires. Still a lot of action going on right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With that 3-1 show, we end up moving to 62 and 50, 14.04 units. Back into where we wanted to be. Like I said, I probably won't have that many props in the Super Bowl, which sucks. Yeah. So I'm gonna find some DJing props, bro. I even need to watch the game. I want some commercial props. Give me some commercial props. I'll be all over those. I'm always in for those. And obviously ready for that game. But today we are on to the NBA and college basketball streets. I guess we'll kind of figure out how we want to do this. I will let you talk about your favorite NBA game. I really looked at the slate a couple times. Didn't really dive in. I'll kind of be looking at an overlying perspective here. But I'll kick it to you here first. What is the first game that kind of catches your eye today?
Yeah, I know I mentioned all the narrative stuff earlier, but for me, the game I'm probably going to have the most bets in, the most interested in, Kings Heat for me is going to be a lot of fun. Just because anytime that there's a new player or a new rotation in any kind of team, it has effects that you can take advantage of in the betting market. So naturally, when I think there are still advantages left, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, I'm going to be very interested to see how that actually play out, how the rotations look, all that kind of stuff. So I know it's a stacked slate. I know you have an easy answer for your game of the day today, but I think that's going to be truthfully the one I'm most interested in.
What do you think my easy one's going to be?
I mean, the Dame thing is like huge, you know? That's like
I took the Bucks last time. I'm not going to do it again. The game I'm looking forward to is Denver OKC. I think that's going to be a phenomenal game. I don't think that there's a way that OKC really slows down Jokic. I really don't. I mean, I like Chet as a rim protector, but Jokic doesn't need to be down there to be effective. So I was kind of looking at like in games like that where they do have a good rim protector, maybe I go more to the rebounds assist lines for Jokic. That's kind of usually how I've been doing it. So obviously he had a triple-double against my Bucks. That game slowed down towards the end, but Jokic obviously came out on top. Good game there. But yeah, dude, I honestly, that Dame one, I'm not really I don't want to bet on Dame. You know who I want to bet on? I want to bet on my boy, Anthony Simons, all day, baby. I'm all in on, man. If I'm going to bet on anybody in that game, it's Anthony Simons or Giannis, bro. I know they're going to try to feed Dame, but who's going to stop him, bro? Like, you can throw Brogdon at him. Brogdon was a buck too, bro. Brogdon's a nice defender. He's good. He is a good defensive player. And no one talks about him because he's coming off the bench. But now Shaedon Sharpe, if he's still out, he might get that start, man. I mean, Brogdon was nice for us. And I'm telling you, nobody's going to talk about him, but he could definitely pop off in the spot. We foul a ton. He shoots phenomenal at the free throw line. I'm telling you, that's a guy you might be wanting to look out as well for. Should be good there.
Yeah, how annoying is it going to be when everyone has their revenge game tickets and it's Malcolm Brogdon and like Cameron Johnson that end up actually getting their revenge? You know, it's like the most random guys that have. That's a good point though, and it's something that doesn't get stated enough when we talk about this. Is hey, I'm still betting on Dame and Kevin Durant tonight. You can call me a sucker. I'm doing it. I'm not betting like an extremely large amount of money. It's not like my show play. You know, to me that's always kind of weird when I see 8,000 people post Kevin Durant. It's like okay. The whole world's doing this, you know. Does this need to be like a write-up? Can the write-up just be like we're betting Kevin Durant or we're betting Dame in revenge game? I don't know. It feels pretty simple to me, but I get what you're saying that there are a lot of guys that want their revenge. Hey, they just want to win games, and we don't even know if Portland can even keep this one close. And if they do keep it close, it's probably Simons as a big part of it. So honestly, just with you saying that, I'm probably going to get a little bit of action on Simons tonight as well.
Beautiful. I think we can get it going here. We got 20 of you guys in here live here in the first couple minutes. We got a lot of you guys in here already. Hope you guys are all doing well, prolific in here. Always talking in the college basketball streets, always on the YouTube play today. We appreciate seeing you in here. Sir Roger in here as well. We got Cash, Phil, as always. Thank you. Hope you guys are getting ready to lock some of these bets in here with us. Hey, shout out Matt. Obviously, we love having Matt here. Very smart guy in his own right. Make sure you go check him out over on Twitter as well. Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's not bad. I mean, Brogdon, he's nice. I know nobody's going to talk about him here because he's usually coming off the bench. But Shaedon Sharpe being out is just getting this dude heavy minutes. If he's playing 30 minutes, I'm ready for some Malcolm Brogdon tonight. And I'm telling you, I like that Portland side a little bit more for prop-wise. I don't want to – dude, why would Giannis pass the ball? That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you Jeremy Grant? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden's been actually trying the last couple of games after he got roasted for not. Like, I don't know if he's actually playing basketball now after that embarrassing quote came out that he has nothing left to prove, and then he got toasted by OKC. He's actually like trying a little bit more. Not that he's going to be the guy that stops him, but I mean, to be honest, Dame could just sit out there and shoot all day long. It's Portland. I mean, who's going unless they reach down to like Matisse Thybulle and send him out there, which hasn't been the case. I would do. I think Matisse Thybulle should play a little bit more, but they don't really have guys for that. Simons definitely not. You know what I mean? Brogdon. He was a good defender a couple of years ago. There's some wear on those tires at this point. He's not going to be chasing Dame around for 30 minutes. Like, it's going to be open season if he wants to shoot. And it's freaking revenge or return to Portland. He could make a song about this game. Like, who knows? Got to get at least a little bit of money on that.
Yeah, he's just not been good lately. He's just really not been good at all. So, yeah, I just really expected him to kind of be that guy there in that Denver game where they're kind of forcing the ball out of Giannis's hands and just didn't do it. He just didn't shoot or didn't shoot well. And he's just been kind of off lately ever since that Kings game where he played like 44 minutes and goes crazy. So obviously he's good enough to bounce back. I got no issues thinking about that down the road. But let's get it started, Stu. Let's get it started here. I'll kick it over to you first. I know you already mentioned your spot with a new guy on a new team, and we'll let you start out with that one.
Sounds good. We're going Terry Rozier over 15.5 points. It's one of my favorite spots on the slate. Normally, we like to bomb you guys with a lot of stats, a lot of stuff like that. For me, a lot of the reason why I took this play really comes down to kind of the coaching talk and all the speak around Miami right now, because his first couple games, I mean, despite the fact that it was brutal matchup, right? It was rough matchup after rough matchup, still hasn't really had time to even have a full practice with the team. It's kind of just putting everything together and hoping it works out. The first couple of games were not super good. He wasn't very aggressive. The shot volume wasn't, what you want it to be, and they just weren't going in, right? You can obviously blame the tough matchup, the new team. But before last game, if you were paying attention, like there was a barrage of quotes. It was Jimmy Butler first who said, "We got him to be a shooter. We need him to come here and shoot. We want him to be aggressive. That is the whole point." And then Spoelstra went in the post-game conference and said the same thing, that we got this guy so that we could push the pace a little bit more. We could have a little bit more tempo. And he responded. He had 10 first quarter points. He came out. He had his highest scoring game, clearing 20 points. And he was clearly listening to the feedback. And then in the post-game, after he finally had his good first performance, they asked him about it. And he said, and I quote, that nobody has ever told me to play my game this much within 1 week, right? The idea that everyone is coming behind him and saying, "We traded for you because we want you to shoot," right? And his response to that was like, "Hey, I respect these guys. I respect Hero. I respect Bam. Like, I don't want to step on toes." But the reinforcement from everybody in the room is like, "No, we want you to shoot those pull-up threes. That's why we put you on this team, right? We don't need you kicking out 400 times a game. That's not your game." So for me, after reading all that and then seeing that he, did kind of ball out in his first matchup, additionally, you can even go to the Tyler Hero post conference and you can hear Hero sounds a little bit almost disappointed, and where he's saying, "I'm going to have to alter my game a little bit because of the new system. We're taking the ball out of my hands a little bit more, and I'm shooting more threes." That's why all of gambling Twitter is on his threes today, is because they're changing around the offense a little bit more with this new system. So for me, we have a perfect matchup, right? 11th rated Kings pace, 21st in points per game against opposing guards. Like, it's just a good matchup to get going. He finally had his first good game in this offense. The whole building is telling this guy to shoot the ball. This is a pretty low number for Terry Rozier that's going to shoot, 16, 18 times a game. So definitely want to take advantage of this while the number's low, while we got a good matchup right here. I think Scary Terry is going a little bit under the radar today.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, no, I mean, this guy was pushing 26, 27 point spots when he was with Charlotte with no LaMelo there. There was some games where if you're able to score at that level and the books obviously respect it enough, obviously I expect if he hits this number, we're going to start seeing this around 17, 18 here in these next couple days. So you want to get it before the market makes that adjustment. Don't mind the spot at all. Obviously love attacking the Kings as always. And I think that they can obviously have a lot of guys get there and get theirs in this matchup here. All right, I'm going to go to some college basketball here, and I'm going to start out with a little bit lower game here. I'm going to Belmont. I'm going to be going to the over 164.5. I know it's a big number. I know we had a little dip there for a little while where these numbers weren't hitting, and now they're right back, right? They're right back up, and we're seeing these numbers fly up. It's Indiana State heading to Belmont. One thing I always like to look at is just obviously your pace numbers and all of that fun stuff that everybody gets to look at there. You go to Belmont, top 100 in pace. As always, they're 33rd in the country, around top 100 in offense. You go to Indiana State, everybody's on them, which kind of scares me. Everybody kind of knows who they are. They're a top 10 adjusted offense, top 50 pace. They're trying to push it on you. They average 86 points per game. They're a top 5 scoring team in the country, and that's probably something that everybody's kind of keeping their eye on because they're a fun team to watch. And the reason why I really like this spot, Belmont used to be, the juggernaut of this team, of this league, right? You'd see them in the NCAA tournament, always getting like that 13, 14 seed. They used to run this conference. Indiana State's at the top of this conference. This team is good. They have Isaiah Swopes at 18 a game. They got Robbie Avila, who everybody's talking about. I mean, you've probably seen the pictures too. The guy with the big glasses, their center, who kind of, he's like, I try to play like Jokic, because he does. He does kind of have that role where he plays in the middle and kind of reads. And the reason why that's good, because you have 5 double-digit scorers on this team, right? A lot of really good shooters. And Belmont has that same type of feel here. So one thing I like to look at in these college games is, can you do what you do on the road, right? Especially in college, the home road splits are huge, right? There's so much. It's such a big difference when you head there, right? It's a stark difference when you head on the road in college versus NBA, right? NBA really, it's not like a huge difference, right? When you head on the road. Indiana State still averaging over 80 points a game on the road. Obviously very nice. Shooting 37% from 3 on the road. Very nice. They're a top 10 3-point shooting team, which is something you look at. Top 10 free throw shooting team, which I love to see on the road as well. It travels, but they don't defend the 3-ball well. Belmont doesn't defend the 3-ball well either. Indiana State giving up 37% from the 3-point line on the road. Belmont giving up 35% on the year. Dude, these guys got some snipers, man. You look at this team, Robbie Avila shooting 43%. The guy I told you looked like Jokic with the glasses, he's a center shooting 43% from 3. Swope, 41% from 3. Conwell, 41% from 3. They have shooters on shooters. That's what they got, and they'll be able to score inside there as well. Also, I don't think that they're going to be able to match up with Dia. Malik Dia is the number 1 scorer for Belmont. If they end up matching up Avila on him, significant mismatch. Diaz should be able to just blow by this guy in the athletic realm. Obviously shoots 35% from 3 as well. But the difference is Belmont's got 3 dudes scoring 15 a game. They got 3 big boys, right? That's how they're going to be scoring here. And I think this pace is going to just warrant scoring. If Belmont's going to cover, which I think I would lean Belmont here, +9 if I had to, they're going to have to push it, man. They're going to have to push it, and they're going to have to make the 3-point ball. Like I said, if it comes down to being close at the end, Indiana State, top 10 free throw shooting team, you just got dudes that I trust on the line to get the job done in those big moments there down the stretch. I think they're going to thrash them, personally. I think it's going to be around that 11, 15 most of the game. But then I think that we might see that little bit of late cover, because we see that a lot in college basketball right at that double-digit mark. So I think Indiana State comes out, punches them in the mouth. They're a top 5 first-half scoring team, and I think that's going to dictate that pace that Belmont's going to even want to go faster, because Indiana State's the only pace-up spot for Belmont in this conference, and I love this spot. A lot of threes, hopefully a lot of fouls, and a lot of free throws, because both teams shoot the free throw ball well. So I'm all over this one. I really like this spot for both teams. I think Indiana State's going to be, getting up to like 90, 95 points in this one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was just talking about Belmont the other day as an example of one of those like spread teams is just like chucking threes and stuff. I don't know if that's still, how they play as much, but to me, that's like the ultimate. That's the college basketball I want to watch. I don't want to watch the SEC where like Arkansas has like 5 guys that all play great defense all the time. Like that's boring. I don't know if that's what's going on.
That's the wrong conference to talk about. SEC, well, SEC is fun now. They're fun, a fun league.
Okay, I'm not hip to college basketball until the tournament season. The point is, you want to bet on these little white guys that shoot threes. That is the system. That's my system. So hopefully we can get somewhere, close here. I don't know. I'm going to tell you either way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Isaiah Swope ain't a white guy. He's a stud. Ryan Conwell isn't a white guy, but he's a stud.
Belmont, I know from like 2013, where it's just like 6'4" white guys, and they just get in a little circle around the 3-point line, and they just let it fly. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, it's a little bit different now with Avila on Indiana State, just because he is literally running the Jokic role, where they just feed him at the high post. You got 4 shooters around him. That's on the Indiana State side. But they're also very, very, very athletic and going to be a tough team to match up with in the tournament. But a lot of people are talking about them, which kind of scares me, that they're almost like a popular dog, which I don't want to be. I probably won't be backing them there. But if they get a good matchup, man, I think they could make some noise in the tournament. Obviously, really like this spot to fly over. I think this pace is going to be awesome. Would be a fun game for you to watch. I think you can get them on ESPN Plus. Shameless plug to ESPN Plus, because if you're a college basketball guy, they give you a lot of games, man. That's like that in UFC. The only reason I have ESPN Plus, man, is in a little bit of golf on Thursday, in a little bit. But that's besides the point. Let's get to plays number 2 for each of us here. I'll kick it over to you, Stu.
Yeah, let's get me back in the NBA where I feel good again. Okay, Brandon Miller, 4 first quarter points and a Suggs steal, -106. I also played Miller 4 first quarter points and Rozier 3 first quarter points as well. I just didn't want to be super repetitive for the show, considering I already talked about Rozier, how he came out aggressive. Guys, Miller's first quarter numbers are really, really good. Like, even no matter how you slice it, no matter how you look at it, he's over in 9 of 12 games in January, with the vast majority of those games being with Rozier, Ball, or both of them. And then if you go back his last 25 games, he's still over this in 19 of them, right? So he's been consistent. 17 of them. He's been consistent even though he's been in a much lower usage role. He's still playing 8 minutes per game every game. And as some of the bets the first quarter, getting like traditional, like standardized minutes is hard. A lot of teams, especially with young guys, one day you're at 5 minutes, then you're at 9, then you're at 10. He's been consistently 8+ minutes, playing around 9 or 10 more ever since the Terry trade. So for me, there's an obvious increase in usage ability right here. I mean, Miller has the ball in his hands more. He's shooting different kinds of shots. We're getting to the rim a little bit more, a little bit less three-point action right here. But the consistency has just been so insane, obviously, that I'm shocked that we're getting 4 even as an option at -270, which is playable. Normally, his standard number is 5.5, which is an additional basket. I like that. But he's not consistently shooting threes. A lot of the production is coming from inside. And when you look at the matchup right here, right, we suddenly go from, a more scary matchup with, like with Patrick Williams down there, who's, a really tough defender, to now you're going to get a lot of DeRozan, which he's playing more minutes than anyone else in basketball right now. You're not necessarily going to get the most engaged defensive effort. The Bulls have been pretty good at limiting paint points, but I like that Miller's scoring on 3 levels right now. He's kind of getting there in multiple different ways. And this is just a young guy on a young team that's suddenly going to be getting a shit ton of opportunity. And his first quarter production has been so consistent, even with the other good offensive players sitting there next to him, that now that we're still, getting these kind of lines without them, it's very surprising to me. And it's not something that's going to stick around for long. So for the show, like I said, I played it with Rozier 3 first quarter because I think that's a great combo. And then right here, we're going to Suggs steal. I think Suggs is a guy that's going a little bit under the radar right now. Sure, nobody wants to mess with the Orlando rotations, but like Suggs has kind of solidified himself in that now higher tier of like elite guard on ball point of attack defender, right? I don't think he's like Alex Caruso yet, but he's only 22 years old and he's getting into that tier where you're an absolute weapon and a menace out there. And the minutes have started to standardize 29, 26, 32, 26. Like, we don't need like Suggs to play 35 minutes a game to get there. We need like a baseline of 25 minutes. And this, we're not talking about one, we're talking about 1, 3, 2, 3. Like, this is a high end defensive guard out there. And for me, what do you love to do when you have a high-end defensive guard? How about you play him against an incredibly young team that passes the ball more than anyone else and is letting it fly? I mean, I saw it myself when my Wizards played them the other night, and we don't have a Suggs, really. I mean, we got like a Delon Wright. He's kind of like a very old version of what you want from that, good point of attack defender and all that. But, not the minutes, the athleticism that you're getting here. And I think the matchup's just perfect. Like, the Spurs team, they're trying out a lot of stuff. Pop's offensive philosophy revolves around let it fly. Jones is going in there. He's not shooting. He's not going to score very many points, right? It's a very pass-first effort. And for me, that's going to give you more steal opportunities. Suggs is aggressive in the lanes. And because the rest of the team is so sound defensively, you can let your guards play that much more aggressive in those deflection opportunities, which is what we're looking for. So like this combo, I would not even have Miller 4 first quarter points as an option. They used to do stuff like that all the time. I'm glad they don't anymore. So let's take advantage of it right here. Let's punish him. I like this combo with Suggs on the defensive side of the ball against a very young, inexperienced team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely like that Brandon Miller look. I know he's been just cooking lately. Again, guys, if you got any questions, hit that comment button there. Just drop in some stuff. We'll get to everything, hopefully, out there. I don't think we have any questions in there yet. So I will get to my last play, and that's going to be Kentucky. I'm going the first half over again. I'm going to play it again and again and again when they're at home. This team is an absolute juggernaut at home. Also, these last 2 games, I don't take I take absolutely zero from them, right? Because you played Arkansas at Arkansas, tough spot after a loss at South Carolina, who slows you down. Florida ain't slowing you down. We saw their first game. That game was so fast paced. That's the only reason I corrected you when you said SEC. I wouldn't have cared, but these two are the crazy ones. These are the juggernauts right here of pace in the SEC. When you look at Kentucky, they're a run and gun team. They got so many NBA players that are going to be coming from this team. 12th in pace, top 10 in adjusted offense. You go to Florida, and again, they're right towards the top as well. In terms of pace, I played this in their first matchup. Florida is 18th in pace, 14th in adjusted offense. They're going to be running and gunning in this one. I played the first half over as a YouTube play of the day spot. What was it, a month ago? And I was nervous because the first 6 minutes it was like 4-8. And I'm like, dude, I need 80 points, 80 and a half points. Couldn't make a 3-point shot, but all of a sudden that pace kicked in and it's like 10 points in a minute, right? That's what this pace can do. They have elite shot makers on both sides. You go to Kentucky, man, they're bringing Shepherd off the bench. They're bringing that man off the bench. That dude will be a number one option on probably 80% of the Division I teams in college basketball. You got Antonio Reeves, Dillingham. I think he's going to play. Even if he doesn't, you just move Reed into the starting lineup. Trey Mitchell has been a great find there. Wagner double digits as well. I don't think Florida's going to be able to negate that size in there. Trey Mitchell is super, super athletic. And also Kentucky in the first half at home, man. I told you, that's the team I want to go to. They're averaging 46 points per game in the first half at home this year. Unreal. A number you do not see in college basketball very often. And the thing is, Florida's right there, right? Florida's right there towards the top in terms of first half scoring. When you look at their first half scoring, they're 12th in the country, right? It's averaging 41 points per game in the first half. They give me their averages. We're there. But this pace just kind of turns everything up a little bit. Also, Kentucky. Let's look at their last 5 home games. Florida was their 5th, the last one. Went over this number. Or that wasn't it. They were at Florida and they still got there. Georgia. That game scored 200 points. 200. They scored 200 points in a college basketball game. That is nuts. That's in regulation, right? Mississippi State, they dropped 49 in the first half. Missouri, they dropped 47 in the first half, went to 89 points, right? These games are just crazy, crazy fun to watch. If you're a college basketball fan, Kentucky games are just such elite shot making. It is just, like I said, really good games. Definitely would recommend if you're going to watch a game tonight, watch this one. But yeah, looking at that Florida matchup in the first one, Tyrese Samuel is playing significantly more now than he was in that first game. He only had 3 points in that first game. You got Clayton Jr. who dropped 23 on these boys. This is going to be elite basketball, and I'm pumped for it to watch it. And again, I like rolling with Kentucky in the first half because they're just an absolute juggernaut coming out right away, punching you in the face, and we'll see what happens because I think Florida's going to be able to punch back and keep this close. This opened at 172. Is down to 168.5. I don't see it getting any lower than that. I'd rather take that first half because this opened at 83.5 first half number. So I'm getting good. I'm taking that while people are betting the under. I'm going to hammer it and get ready to go and cash this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, you told me right before, you said it again, this is a game to watch. And for me as a Wizards fan, unfortunately, we're in the sphere of team that is so bad that we're already looking at draft prospects like early in January, you know? And Kentucky is a team that I'm always seeing, obviously, Dillingham, Shepherd, these guys that are always getting their highlights and stuff posted. So from everything it sounds like today's going to be a good chance to check them out in person for myself and see if I can envision them in that Wizards uniform next year. So I'm going to be tuning in for sure. A lot of good basketball tonight.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Don't look at those last 2 games. I'm literally telling you, like, don't even look at them because they are so significantly different than how these high-end teams go. The coach for Florida, Golden, he used to coach at San Francisco, got a huge SEC job, right? Got a huge step up. How do you get recruits? You score the damn basketball and you score a lot of points, right? That's how you're going to get all these high-end recruits to keep coming there. Clayton Jr., obviously an elite scorer. And I think that there should be just so much more space in this game than when you play a South Carolina and Arkansas, right? Those are teams that they know they're not going to be able to handle you with the talent level gap that's there. These guys can. They can compete, which I think that's why these games get so fun, so high scoring, that books can't put the number high enough, right? Like I said, they went to 200 points with Georgia and didn't even cover the spread. They scored 100 points and didn't cover the spread. They're running. Other team gets to run. A lot of open shots. I think that we're going to see both sides just absolutely showing elite shot making early on in this.
Hey, I'm ready for it. I'm gonna have to be, pulling out the dual screen. We got 4 revenge games. I got prospects I gotta watch. Like, holy shit, they're testing us tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to do DFS NBA tonight because stupid Luka and Kyrie out. This is gonna be like 95% chalk. Tim Hardaway shooting 1 for 26 from 3. Yeah, I definitely want to see that on my lineup. Gonna be 90% owned, and then if I don't play him, he's gonna go for 35. So real life points. So yeah, that's how it goes. So this will be my Wednesday off of DFS, but I'll obviously be tailing you on these ones. Let's get this out for the people here. Show them what we got for this slate.
Sounds good. I'm on Scary Terry Rozier over 15.5 points, minus 127 on FanDuel and on Rivers right now. I'd also play it at 16.5 at plus money because that's out there at a couple spots as well. Then we're going Brandon Miller, 4.5 first quarter points. Like I said, I played it with Rozier, 3 first quarter points as well to get that combo going. And then we're going with Suggs Steele, minus 106 over on DraftKings.
If just a question here, if you can get Suggs Steele at 1.5, right? So say you can only get it at 1.5, would you play it there straight at 1.5 steals, or is this just a parlay piece option just to throw in?
Yeah, it's a parlay piece. Like for me, I like Suggs 2 steals, but like there's no value in parlaying that. You're paying like plus money to play.
Oh no, I'm just saying play it straight. Just play it straight.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put in a parlay. But yeah, I'm going to play like 2 steals with like Bilal 2 steals later tonight is my plan for it whenever that number comes out. So yeah, I do like it, but I normally play plus money steals in like 3-person round robins and stuff like that. I think that's a good way to get a little value out of that market. But no, good question. He constantly is covering that 2 steal mark. So I do like it. I just wouldn't parlay it. I thought that's what you meant.
No, I was just saying, I know some people might not have the first quarter options on their books. So if they could play and find a way to get it where they could just play steal with 2 of them and roll with that just as an option. I'll be in college basketball. I'm going Kentucky first half over 81.5, minus 112 on FanDuel and on FanDuel as well. Belmont over 164.5 here at minus 110. I do not have any long shots. Stu, do you have a long shot for us today, or are we kicking it out of here a little early?
How fun it could be Tim Hardaway 6 threes. What do you think the price on that is? What do you think?
I don't know. Probably like 280.
280.
I would have said like 350. That would have been my guess, and that was just to be a fucking
6.
person who hates Tim Hardaway when all these guys are out. What's Jaden Hardy to score 40?
He's not up yet.
He's gonna probably shoot it 40 times tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any long shots right now. I'm looking through. I like Josh Green whenever I get a chance to bet him. That's just spitballing a little bit, but I don't know how I'm going to bet him yet. PRA maybe, something like that. But yeah, there's the long shot slate. I'll have something. But for me right now, it's just the obvious stuff. Like, oh, of course, Kevin Durant, 30, whatever. Dame, 5 threes. Like that kind of stuff is pretty obvious. But beyond that, maybe I'll get a little Josh Green, threes action going, and maybe some Bilal, steals and stuff. But, no super big long shots for me. If I have them, I'll post them on Twitter, post them in Discord. You guys know the drill.
Yeah, and it's tough, too, because, Cleveland's been a team I've been going to with, Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell. They're getting healthy again. Yep. Jared Allen on the questionable tag. A lot of questionables out there. Just because we haven't seen back-to-backs and stuff like that, getting tweaked injuries. So, yeah, it happens. It's this point of the NBA season. Obviously, after the All-Star break, you see things kind of turn up a little bit. But this is like that little, not going to say lull, but a little bit of that, a couple weeks before the All-Star break, kind of figuring ourselves out. And obviously, all the people playing for trades as well. So, should be fun. Obviously, we got 4 plays for you guys. If you could, hit that like button. We really appreciate it. I'm going to go through and make sure I put a timestamp in there as well, tell you what times all these plays come through, because obviously I know a lot of you guys are going to tune in a little bit later than being on the live with us here. So you got anything else for the people here before we head out?
No, nothing much. I mean, just make sure you're tuning in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, leaving a like when you are here. That's always much appreciated. A little bit of a slower week, no NFL to look forward to at the end. So it's going to be a good amount of basketball stuff like that. I'm excited to keep it going. We got a good slate today. I think we got some winners. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff helps the algorithm out, helps new people find out this show, and hopefully keep it going as long as possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be counting these plays also towards my YouTube play of the day. I know everybody is always asking if it's going to be if I'm going to have one today. I'm not going to have one. Obviously, I have a lot of bets already out for college basketball, but I didn't make a video this morning. So this one, I had to get that fresh cut. I had my fresh cut this morning, so I couldn't get that in. You got to get that. You got to get the workout in there. You got to get the haircut. Feeling like Jersey Shore this morning.
No,
laundry, baby. I just didn't do the laundry because I already got it. You already did that last week. I did that I think I did that 3 days ago, so we don't have to worry about that. But the gym tan, I don't need the tan. I'm already dark. I don't need to do that shit. But yeah, you know what it is.
Well, even the collar too. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
This ain't count. This is like a.
I didn't see it at first.
Yeah, it's like a windbreaker.
I just saw up from above. I saw the haircut, the collar. I was like, okay, something, so that could be a.
I ain't got that slick back stew look
going on.
I need that slick back stew look that I can't pull that off. So while I get through my awkward stage, I got to get that shit off my head. So, all right, guys, we did the recap about 3 minutes ago. If you're just getting here, make sure you check that out. We have all of our plays there. If Stu or myself come up with some long shots for the night, we'll post them in the comments. Drop your favorite play of the night. We'd obviously love to see what you're rolling with as well in the comment section of the show. And we'll see you guys on Friday, maybe talking a little bit of more basketball. Maybe obviously Friday slates are crazy. I'm sure Stu will find a way to bet on something in the Pro Bowl for some football, but you'll see. So thank you guys. Hit that like button on your way out, and we'll see you on Friday for Pass the Prime.